Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I recently learned Rust couple of months ago and I really like it. So I decided to create a video tutorial series on the Rust. And in this series we'll start with a very basic concept and then we'll deep dive into everything. I already have the installed, so I will just walk you through the instructions for the installation. I will not install on my computer. So let's see. So this is the installation instruction for the Mac OS. Just copy paste this URL on the terminal, use the curl and then this URL and it will directly install Rust on your Mac OS. And if you see the linker error, then you need to install the C compiler. And to install the C compiler, you can use the Xcode select and install and this is going to work perfectly fine. On my computer, you can see that I have the Rust C version. So once you have installed, you can check by this command by running the rust c version and it will show you the some version number, and if it is showing the version number, that means Rust has been installed perfectly fine. Uh, Other than that, there are a couple of additional command lines to install with this package. The one is the rust up. The rust up is has some command like you can update the rust version, you can uninstall the Rust, or you can open the dock. So for example, if you want to update the Rust version, you can simply use the Rust update command and it will install. It will check the current version in the system and will install. My current version is Rust 1.86.0. There is the uninstallation and installation instruction is like the stop self uninstall. This is very straightforward, no need to go into detail. If you want to open the local document, you can simply run the rust up and down. It will open the local documentation on your computer. That is, this documentation is actually installed with the package. So this is the official book of the Rust and this is very nicely written and the learning track of this one is really good. I really like it. When I learned it, I liked it. I follow this everything chapter by chapter and make sure that you do not skip any chapter. If you skip some particular section, you may skip some important concept of this one and then you may struggle in the advanced topic to understand what exactly going on with that one. Do not rush into learning the Rust and do not give up. The reason is this is slightly different. There is a steep curve learning the Rust because if you are coming from the Python, Go, JavaScript, you will see there is some different syntax overall and some different concept. But I am giving you heads up that do not rush in the learning, do not give up, because you will find it difficulty understanding the basic concept. And as you progress with this learning track, I can assure you that you will have the very good understanding of the Rust at the end of this um, all this at the end of all this chapter. And this series will actually divide it into number of videos with the chapter wise or the multiple chapter into one videos. I'm not sure how many videos I'm going to create, but let's see. Let's start with this. So we have done the installation. So let's start the very first program about the hello world. So any programming language, when we write a program, when we create the very first program, we will try to install everything, and then after that we will create the very first program of the hello world. So to create a hello world program, you can go and create one directory on your computer. For example, I have created the directory structure hello world, and that directory structure is in the naming convention of the Rust is like you use underscore between the two words. So for example, if you're creating the directory name hello world, so you use hello hyphen hello underscore world. So I created one directory, and then when you start writing very first program, so like I explained, make that project directory with the some name, and if there are multiple letters, use the underscore between the if there are multiple words, then use the underscore between the words. And when you are writing the Rust program, so Rust program start with the .rs extension, but the main program which is going to execute immediately, it should be start with the function name main. So we have created one hello world rs file. The first line is, so let's walk through about this one. So first line is function name with the fn is the reserved keyword. So any function should have the prefix fn, and then the function name parenthesis and curly braces open and close, and the function body is inside the curly braces, and every line in the Rust has to be end with the semicolon. Unlike the JavaScript or the Python, here the line should be ended with the semicolon. And it is strongly typed language. That means you have to use the type, semicolon, and syntax is like it is very strong type language. Now, so this is first language. The first line you can see that we are using the print ln exclamatory mark and then a string inside, opening and closing parentheses and the semicolon. So what does it actually? The main function is going to be entry point for the execution, and println exclamatory mark is the macro. So there are difference between the function and macro. So macro are the special instruction or the set of instructions for the compiler to execute those predefined set of instructions when macro is called. And so here the println activity is the macro and the hello world. So it is going to print this particular string on the terminal. So about the macro we are going to learn in the chapter 20. So let's see what it does do. So we have created one very simple program. Now to compile this program, we have to use the Rust C and our source file name. So when you do the Rust C source file name, it will create a executable file, and this is the executable file that will you can execute it by writing its name hello world, and then it will execute and will print the string that we have provided into println function. So basically in the Rust there are two steps involved into executing so step one is the compiling the source file, and then step two is the running the binary or executable. If you are familiar with the dynamic language such as Python, JavaScript, or Ruby, you don't need to compile it. But if you are coming from the C or C++ or the Java background, you know that these language need to compile the source file first and then execute it, right? Similarly, it happens in the Rust. So Rust is ahead of time compiled language. That means you have to compile and then execute. So that's about compiling and running the program. So what we have seen so far is the very first, very simple program, how to write hello world, compile and run. But when you are writing, when you are working on the some large project or something, you have to use the package manager. So let's see what is the cargo. So cargo is the Rust system build system and package manager. So build system is like you can use the cargo package, cargo command to create the build, create the debug build or the release build, and the package manager as well. Because when you are writing some program, you must be using some library or some dependencies. So how do you define dependency that is actually created in the cargo uh, package manager? So cargo.toml is the file that we use for the defining the dependencies. And cargo package has some commands to build and run and execute the Rust program. So when we install the Rust, a cargo package is also installed along with that one. Okay, so let's see how to create a new project with cargo. So I'm into my working directory, and cargo will use the command cargo new hello world. So this will create a new directory, but it is giving error that hello world is already created. So let's remove this, and then I will use the hello world. Okay, so when we created a hello world project, it has created some directory structure along with the one cargo.toml file, and that has the project name, version, and then addition, and then dependency. By default, you can see that this has no dependency defined because this is the blank project and it has the git ignore and main file, the hello world program already there. Now you can see that how to run this program, how to compile and run this program. So basically to build this program, we are going to use a command cargo build. So okay, so let's go to hello world and cargo build. So it is going to create. it will compile and will create the target directory for this one. So the main.rs has been compiled and it will create the debug directory, and debug directory has some dependencies, examples, and some and executable file as well. So you can see there is a different file. So this is the executable file, this is the debug file. And now, how do we run that program directly from the cargo? So you can use cargo run command, and that is it will compile and execute both. If it already compiled, it will skip the compilation process and will run directly if there is no change in the source code. Let's see what is the cargo log. So cargo log is the file that has the version dependency log, and that will make sure that whatever dependencies used into the cargo file and compiled using the cargo build, those particular versions are actually goes into cargo log, so that next time when you build and run, it does not change. And there is a one more command which says the cargo check. The cargo check command is quickly check your code to make sure that compile but does not produce any executable. So basically, when we should use the cargo check, if you need to frequently compile the code, then instead of using the build, you should use the cargo check. The reason is that cargo check is much faster than the cargo build because it does not create the whole build again. It will just simply compile the code and make sure that the code is compilable. And it said the additional advantage of using the cargo is that command that no matter what operating system you are using, the command is going to be same whether it's Windows or Mac OS. Okay, so now up to this we have understood how to install the Rust. We have gone through the installation process, the simple println function, the hello world program. So until this, we have done three steps like the installations, understanding the hello world program, the main function, and the cargo package manager. So let's start with the, so next chapter is going to be start with the one simple, we are going to create one simple program and we'll understand the basic syntax of the programming. So we'll see you in the next video.